Hey guys, it's Rick. I'm back with Pixi Dust Designs today to share a fun way to combine different stamp sets and dies to create a project. So we're going to use the Easter Bunny stamp set, the vintage truck dies, and the spring accessories vintage truck. I also have some some pattern paper that is not out yet. It's a spring pattern paper pad that will be coming soon. So I have already die cut all my truck pieces from some cranberry cardstock. And I'm going to do a little ink blending. I'm going to actually, if you take and fold over these tabs and cut 2 of these trucks, then you can make a little treat box. But I don't need that. I'm going to cut those off because I'm going to use them on a card. So I'm going to take some aged mahogany distressed ink and add a little inking detail around the edge to darken up the areas I want to be in shadow of my design. And if you stick around to a little later, we will get into how to combine the products. So we're going to add that same ink blending around the edge of all the parts of our truck where there would be a shadow, because anything overlapping, it was going to have a shadow. So always remember that. So these are actually it was a super easy die set to put together. I did do some of the assembly off camera for some of the other pieces and my coloring that we will see in a minute. All right, so I'm going to finish adding in those back details. I'm going to add a little around the shading around the door, because there is going to be a shading on there. And then we are going to take our little white piece and we're going to add a little blue to that, because that's going to be our glass over our window. My original thought was to stamp the bunny on the inside of the window, but he wouldn't fit. It was too small. So I changed places. So I took a piece of that pattern paper and cut out with some grass dies that I have in my stash. And I'm just going to add a little ink blending shadow in the bottom of that to add a little detail. And then we're going to assemble our little truck. I'm going to add my little tires. And I'm just gluing those down with some Barely Art glue. Gosh, y'all. Okay, this is how you know how to line them up. There's etched details in the cards. The dies etch details into the cardstock, so it makes it easy to line up. If Rick could talk today, he might be doing something. So we're going to line up our little truck door, and we're going to pop in our little window. I also cut out the little steering wheel in black. And we're going to add our hubcaps, I guess. No, bumpers. Those are bumpers. I don't know. All right, for the step and for the hubcaps and the headlight and tail light, I cut those out of some silver foil cardstock. So I'm just going to attach those. The actual, that's the handle of the door. For the actual headlight and the tail light, I cut out of some foil adhesive back tape that I found in the hardware department. Excuse me. Never underestimate your hardware department. You can find all kinds of cool stuff to use. All right, I'm going to glue down those hubcaps into the center. And we got one more. And then we are going to take and move this to the side. Oh, I forgot the steering wheel. Oh my God. How are you going to drive without a steering wheel? All right, we're going to pop that in, and there is etch lines in that, so you know exactly where to place it. It's super easy. I have already ink blended a scene background with a cloud stencil and just a little glass color. I'm placing my truck on there so that I know where I want it to place. So now we're going to get into talking about combining products, now that we are only 4 minutes into this video. So it's easy to combine products, especially when you get them all from the same company, because they usually all coordinate very well. For example, here we are using the eggs from the spring accessory. I cut them out from the pattern paper that I had printed off, because since they wasn't ready, they sent us the digital copy so we could use them. And of course, Rick did not size it correctly, so it's not going to be that same size. But it is a 6x6 pad, but we'll talk more about that when they come out. So I die cut those eggs out of those papers and just lined them up together. Some of them I just did regular cardstock. So that's one different stamp set product that we've used. along with our vintage truck. And you can see that they go really nicely together. It fits the theme. So that's another thing you want to think about is your theme of your card or project, and what do you have in that theme that you can combine together. See, I wanted to create this little nice little this little scene of the outside and the bunnies adding the eggs. This was the story I was telling in my head to the truck. So this is where I came up with this whole process. I took and found all the products that matched, and I did stamp and color all my bunnies and my little bee off screen from the Easter Bunny stamp set. And I'm just going to pop those on. You can see how everything's starting to tie in together, and it's telling that whole story of how the bunnies are adding the eggs to the truck. Even though the eggs aren't the same size, it doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. But you can see how cute and simple this card is turning out. Now, I've got all those down. I'm going to place my bunnies. And we are going to pop our little bunnies up on some foam tape. So I'm going to add a little foam tape behind his ears. And anywhere that it needed to, just a little bit of lift. So I'm going to pop him on, and we're going to pop our little girl on. I did use a little thicker foam tape for her. Just so that there was a little bit of a height difference. And we're going to add our little liquid glue, pop her on. But, so you can see, as everything's coming together, how everything ties in, because it's all an Easter theme. It's all from Pixi Dust Design. So it all has that same look and coordination. That's the easiest way to do it. And we're going to trim off our panels. I'm going to attach that, and I'm going to add this to a pink matte layer. It's only cut like a 16-inch smaller than my card front. And then I've die cut a white Easter Wishes and a black Easter Wishes from the Spring Accessories Vintage Truck add-on set. And that's going to be my sentiment. I'm going to take them to the black as a drop shadow. So I'm going to just line that up and slightly offset the white one with the black underneath. And then I can add that to my card front. Excuse me again. I'm getting the coffees. It never fails. Every time I do a voiceover, I get the coffees. All right, we're going to do our wishes. Now, you could use whatever sentiment. This would be a super cute card to like make for a birthday. If you had the birthday dies, you could change that to birthday wishes. Any kind of sentiment. This is just what I wanted to stick with the Easter theme. So that's why I did the Easter wishes, because I thought it was cute. And I'm just going to pop that right on top. And then we're going to add our card front to our card base. And that pretty much finishes off our card. I think I did add I added some white gel pen highlights, and I did add in use my black Sakura Koi gel pen to darken in their little eyes of the bee to give it a little bit more pop. We're going to add some white highlights to our truck and to our little bunnies, and I believe I added some to the Easter eggs as well. It's been a little while since I've made this card. I added to a little bit, just where there would be on our colored eggs, and I'm pretty sure I added them to the other eggs too. I did. See, look. See what happens when you make this like a week or two ago? You totally forget what you're doing. All right, so that finishes our card. Besides a little fine detail right here, I decided we need a little bit more highlight. No, I've added the glitter pen. Oh my goodness. I forgot about adding a little glitter, especially to the bee's wings. It made it pop a little bit. It's a Stardust glitter pen, and I added a little to the bunny's tails, and just to give them a little bit of a shimmer, and that finishes our card. And if you like this video, you're probably going to like this one coming up next. Here's a look at the finished card, y'all. Bye. Love y'all.